I can't believe I'm doing this. It is 1:28. It is 1:28 of where I'm at right now. I don't know if anyone's going to even come on or not, but I'm at a space and time that I don't care if anyone gets on right now. But I have people that's international, so some of them is 10 a.m., 11 a.m. their time. And I have a friend that I deeply connect with, and he told me something. He said, you have momentum, you have the energy, get on the live right now. And there's some things I want to express on this live right now, because I know it's going to help many of people. Even if they're not watching it right now, it's going to help them in the future. We have a full moon that's in Aquarius. That's right now. And Aquarius governs the mind. And today, well, I wouldn't say today, yesterday, I actually had to free my mind in real time. Yesterday was very unique for me. A very unexpected opportunity opened up for me to be on this show called Black Magic 363. And at the beginning of the day, I had to do a 8/8 class with my wife, and it went tremendous. My wife did her thing, Fizzle, and I did my thing too. But I had to see something of when I did my DJ set. It was something going on with technical difficulties, and this is a pattern that I've been going through. And that pattern showed me of preparation is everything. And yes, you can show up, but when you show up with attention, with preparation, this is when you tap into a different level of your frequency in real time. That after that, I had some own revelations of, I had a haircut that was going to be next week, but I had to get a haircut today, well, yesterday, because I was being interviewed, and I had to have my son with me in real time in my lap while I was getting a haircut, and my son was going crazy in real time, and it was making me go crazy in real time. And I want you guys to follow what I'm saying, because you guys going to see the bigger picture of the story of what I'm saying. And it getting a haircut and having your son with you, he's going crazy. He ain't taking the bottle. He don't want people to hold him. It was just like, yo, can I just catch a break? This is something that's going to open up an opportunity for me, my family, to be exposed to a whole different way. And I caught myself going in a way of thinking where I said, why is this happening to me? And that's when I seen in real time that I was in my fixed mind. I was not in my infinite mind. I was in my finite mind. And after that, got the haircut. I was able to see a friend, a very significant friend, and he held space for me because I needed to express some things. And him allowing me to express those things, it helped me to see my thing of, it is okay to be human. And this also helped me to see that being a teacher, being a healer, who helps the healers? Who help the people that's helping so many people? Because everyone has a breaking moment. Everyone has a breaking point. And my friend allowing me to express my thing in this Leo season that rules self-expression, and it's 8-8, and that's the double self-expression. He allowed me to express myself, and it was very healing for me. That after I got done expressing myself, I went back into the higher thought pattern of, what is this trying to teach me? And what it was trying to teach me is to surrender into the unknown. Because the more you lean into the unknown, that's when the real magic happen in real time. And this is what I'm doing in real time at 1:34 at the Pacific timeline. This is me leaning forward to a different level of my abilities, because when you live in a reality where when you was in the unknown, it felt like you went through lack, you went through scarcity, it wasn't safe. This is something that the collective, I feel like, deeply goes through. It's hard for them to move into the unknown, because when they was in the unknown, they're so used to not being self-regulated in their nervous system, but going into the fight or flight in the nervous system, and that what kept people stuck. So that puts people in the energy of not surrendering, and that puts people into the energy of not fully attracting all the money, because they have a resistance of receiving real deal love. And my woman said something in our 8-8 portal that even touched me and made me even think deeper about me too in real time. And she said, I'm kind of going to mock her in a way. She said, people do not have a problem receiving money. People have a problem receiving love. And that was me. Being the first man in my family, you want to fix everyone. You seeing the problem that's going on in the family, and you want to be the provider. You want to be that protector. But who is there to protect you? And I see this is a theme that a lot of the oldest, especially the oldest boy or the oldest man, go through, of who helps them when they're having an emotional breakdown. Who is there for them? And I was allowed to be with a reflection of a man who was that same frequency, and he was also a Pisces too, to help me to move through this energy. And he gave me advice of telling me, like, you know what, let's go to the water and let's just surrender. And this is what I did. And after going to the water and asking the water, hey, what do I need to know in this time before I go do this interview? And they said, surrender into the unknown, and surrender into your sovereignty. Surrender into your embodiment. Remember, you ain't learning anything. You're just remembering your full essence. And when I did that, went to go on Brother Rich, Black Magic 363 in real time, and it was a magical talk. And if you don't know Brother Rich, or you don't know Black Magic 363, you should go and watch that, because we brought in some codes, we brought in some real things that's going to give you some downloads and activate your heart chakra. Because I have seen that me surrendering in this process, a whole different level of prosperity is opening, a whole different level of unexpected opportunities is happening. And yes, I'm sharing this about me, but I want this to help you in real time too, to understand that surrender into the radical momentum. Surrender into the radical momentum. The momentum told me, oh, this is a test. The momentum showed me this is for me to surrender. The momentum showed me this is when I need to respond, then react. And me responding, this is when I tapped into a different frequency of who I am to the core. And I think this is what we all need to do. We need to lean in to our like-minded individual that the universe trying to bring us to us. Because if we don't, that is our blocking the radical receiving that the universe trying to give us. And I could see that today is the start of the full moon, but the full moon for me was yesterday too. It wanted me to see the full circle of the thoughts, the finite mind, and how it plays tricks on your mind. Because we live in a mental world. But when we unlock the heart with the mental and we breathe and we trust and we go into the flow, that's when we bring in a different level of our downloads. That's when we bring a different level of our code that we can unlock with other people too. And this is what I have did in real time. And I want to say to me on this live, I'm happy and I'm proud of me. Because I had a way of being that I felt it was uncomfortable to acknowledge me. I feel like it was uncomfortable to receive love from me and just do things for me. I always wanted to do things for other people. I was always giving. But I had a problem with receiving. And that was an imbalance that I was operating in. And it's time for me to bring in the full balance of the receiving with the giving. Because the more you give, the more you receive, but you have to be receptive of the receiving. You have to allow the receiving. So I allowed the receiving and I got something beyond my imagination deeply. Then after that, I was able to have conversations after the interview with my friends in real time of what it means to be fully authentic. And to talk about your vulnerability and talk about your things of what you're going through. But you need to do it with the right-minded, like-minded individuals. And it's not a coincidence because Mars is moving into Libra. Libra is all about balance. Mars is the energy of spiritual drive. And the more you move into what is in balance and you lean in to the imbalance and you jump to become more balanced, you're going to see how you're going to quantum jump in real time, because this is what I just did within myself that you guys can do too. It's trusting and it's owning truth. And I had to speak my truth. And me speaking my truth, it allowed me that when I was on this interview, I was able to speak another truth that it resonated to a lot of people. It brought another level of relativity to people, which is also Libra too. It brought a different level of harmony to people too. And this is what we all need to do. Because who are helping the healers? Who are teaching the healers? Who is holding space for the healers? And this is why I see in this community that some healers, they be so drained, they be so tired because they're not getting the proper healing too. So that leads to imbalance, that leads leakages. Some of us feel like it's not okay to even take time for ourselves. So I had to lean in, and I felt like being of a person working with so many people, being a father, being a husband, when do I have time for myself? And you have to create time for yourself because you love yourself. And if you have to be practical and be in the energy of planning ahead so you can move ahead of time, that's what you have to do. And I have learned this in football of seeing how to move through time and space with structures, with times, knowing when to have 30 minutes frames of time, knowing when to have 15 minutes frames of time, knowing when to have hours of time, and moving with attention with time. And this is when the games start to change. This is when another level of peace starts to happen in real time. And if this is you, I want to speak something to you. If this is something that you're going through, this full moon in Aquarius is helping us to see how can we move forward in our full evolution, revolution capabilities to help one another. We need one another. We need to teach. We need to be. We need to relate for one another. We need to stop judging one another. Because when we feel like we're being judged, we feel like we can't be our full authentic self. We can't be our authentic self. And how is that being heaven on earth? This is why I'm also launching Clairvoyance Club. Because I want to show how we can live in embodiment. We can live in flow. We can live with our clairaudience. We can live with our clairvoyancy. We can live and we can move through space and time with DJing. We can meet our soul tribe in this club. So if you are a person that wants to find a tribe, a membership to be aligned to, go to any one of my Instagram posts and just comment club. I promise you it'll be worth your time. Because what we need deeply in this space is authentic teaching, embodiment teaching, not preaching. We need people to show their vulnerability. And even if it's not vulnerability, just show transparency. Show realness. Show real truth. Because the truth always wins. It cannot lose. The truth always prevails. And this is what we all need to do. So live in your truth. Be in your truth. Be okay with speaking truth. Because that's how other people that's watching you be like, oh, so I can be real. I can be truthful. Because we live in a world that we honor more of fakeness. We honor more of likes, followers, shares, views to see if those people are really real people. But some of these people are not. Tap into their frequency. Tap into the energy beyond what they're saying. And this is going to help you. Remember, Aquarius means mind. What is governing your mind? What is taking up space in your mind? What's keeping you in your finite mind? We need to tap into the infinite mind, the futuristic mind that knows that it's ahead of time. Ow. Oh my God. My cat just jumped. Went crazy. And that's what we need to do in this time. And this is what this full moon trying to show us. And it's not a coincidence that it's showing up on a Saturday, which is a Saturn, which is time. Who do you want to be in this time? How you want to show up in this time? What weirdness that you're not embracing in real time? Because your weirdness is your genius. Something that I really went through that was a struggle for me in the past was I seen all these people who was very logical and they was intellect and they was all about these books and bringing all these things through books. But that wasn't my thing. My thing was I just knew things just from my heart. I just knew things from tapping into someone's tone, just listening to their voice. And once I tuned in, I just knew how to give them some codes. And I just tapped into my clear knowing, my clear cognizance, my clear knowing. But this is not something that I've seen in a lot of men, especially men that look like me, black men. So I thought it was something wrong with me. But the more I became and the more I reveal more of who I are, I see this is how I stay in my own lane. This is how I create a new thing. This is how I can create a new level of being, of showing a different level of a man channeling in real time, just speaking from his heart, speaking in his animated character, speaking in different codes. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be like everybody else. I just need to be me, that someone out there that felt like nobody's doing what they doing, but I show me, it can probably help them too in real time. So this is why we need to be authentic. And we got to release trying to be strategic. Because everyone's just trying to find a topic. Everyone's trying to find a right hook. Someone's trying to just keep going viral. But is that really being fully authentic? I have really came to the conclusion, yes, at times I might go viral, yeah. But the intention is not always to go viral. The intention is to put out the right content for the right person. And if it touch one person, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I done my job. Now, do you want to touch multiple people? Absolutely, who wouldn't? But just touch one person. Because that one person, from them embodying themselves, might help another person. Then another person. Then another person. Then another person. I brought somebody on my live. I believe it was last week. And she just had a high vibrational energy. She has messaged me and said, Adewale, thank you. I have gained so many followers. I got my first client. And I see how my reality is actually changing deeply. For her just coming on the live. So this is even me right now. Why at 1:51 I'm here in real time. Because my finite mind is like, why am I up? I shouldn't be up. I need to be asleep. But I can't sleep. I have too much energy. I feel activated. I feel frequency. I feel momentum. So I'm finna tap in. Why not? Because there's someone in this world that need these codes. And there's someone in this world that's trying to figure out why they cannot get out their finite mind. Because you're not surrendering into the unknown. So surrender into the unknown. Go into the unknown. Flow into the unknown. Flow into it. That's when unexpected things start to come, and then you start to create an overflow. You want an overflow of abundance. And I'm not talking just money. You want an overflow of how you're touching people and how you are activating people. And then another level of abundance will start to appear. And like I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it for a second time. I'm not talking about money. Abundance is embodiment. Abundance is owning your full Wi-Fi signal. Own it. Own it. Own it. You ever see somebody that looks like money? You ever seen somebody that walk like they got money? You ever seen somebody that has the frequency of their clothes like, yo, where you shop? You ever seen somebody that they had some clothes on that made and they look so fly? They had a cologne, or they had a perfume where it made you like, sure, I probably should have put something different on today. That's embodiment abundance. Ooh. Embodiment abundance. Embodiment abundance. That's the Aquarius. That's the Aquarius. That's the collective conscious that we all need to embody. Leo is also self-expression. Leo is also royalty. So how are you unlocking, how are you being your royalty code? Or are you still operating in the slave code? Own your full frequency. Even if people don't get it. I always felt like if I spoke light language, if I showed how I tapped into the records, if I showed how I channeled, people are going to judge me. And what did you think that attract? People judging me. But the more I said, I don't care if they like me or not. I had a person repost one of my videos of me doing something in Mount Shasta. And I looked at the comments. And people said I was speaking gibberish. Some people saying, how is this helping humanity? Someone even said I look like Rampage Jackson. And why am I talking about these things? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't give a fuck what they think. I know what I'm doing. And if your finite is trying to logically make sense of what I'm doing, I am not the frequency for you. I am not trying to be for everybody. I'm here to be for the right bodies. Me owning that frequency is now changing my reality. So stop feeling like you're for everybody. You ain't for everybody. You ain't supposed to be for everybody. You're for the right bodies. Some people want to stay in a finite mind. They don't want to be in an infinite mind. When you're listening to light language, you're not supposed to listen with your mind. You're supposed to listen with your heart. So it shows me if you're listening to your finite, you're telling me where you're at in your consciousness. And we're not at the same frequency of consciousness. What do you think babies, dee-dee-dee-da-dee, what you think they doing? What you think they talking? Have you seen Baby Genius? They're speaking in code. They speak in vibrational frequency. They speak in vibration. They speak in vibration. So when a person's speaking in what you think that is? It is code. It is language beyond words. And when a person is doing something and they're opening things in a portal, in a vortex, they're doing something. And just because you logically doesn't make sense of it, that tells me you are stuck. And that person is stuck. So this is for a person that you have gifts, you have codes, you get downloads, and some people don't get it. But you are scared of what the people who don't get it and what they're going to say about you. And now you're stuck, and now you're procrastinating. Now you're not putting out the content. Now you're not putting out the things that you need to do. So how are we going to shift? How are we going to be a different frequency of bringing in another level of our human species? And we're trying to make it to where everybody can understand. Everyone's not supposed to understand. I even had a person who told me to get on this live. He said to me, Wale, you keep trying to understand why I'm telling you to do this. You don't need to understand. You just need to do what I'm saying. You will understand it later. And he telling me that I finally get the loop that I used to be, because I'm a Sagittarius rising. And Sagittarius means I understand. So I felt like I need to understand everything. I need to logically make it make sense. Everything that ain't supposed to logically make sense. It will make logical sense when it needs to make logical sense. Sometimes you need to go into the flow, go into the unknown, do the code, and you will understand the code later. That's the Malcolm X. That's the Martin Luther King. You think Martin Luther King knew that I had a dream of what he talked about was going to still be relevant for today? I don't think he did. But that's what he was called. That's what he felt he needed to do. Did Michael Jackson really think his music will really be known the way it is? I don't know. But it's a reason why his music relevates still to this day. With Remember the Time. Saying it don't matter if you're black or white. Saying all I want to say is that they don't really care about. All I want to say is that they don't really care about. It's a reason. It's a reason. Human nature. Baby Be Mine. And why it does something to people when they listen to his music. Because he's unlocking the ancestral code. And you're right. Michael Jackson is not from this world. He's beyond this world. And this is why he brought in a different level of an evolution code through music. Because he knew that sound can create anything. It can manifest anything. And this is why he was very intentional. And it was not a coincidence that he was a Virgo. So where am I going with all this? Be your unique code. Nobody has your blueprint. Nobody has this handprint. Nobody on the planet. Nobody has your astrology chart. No one has identical astrology chart. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Because you just scratched me so bad. This is crazy. If y'all could see how my cat scratched me, it's crazy. You gotta go. And I want you guys to understand, the more you own your unworldly being, that's when the magic starts to happen. Then that's when you move in a class of your own. This is when you move as a legacy builder. This is when you move as an iconic being. But some of you guys are looking at other people and trying to be their blueprint. Because you want to go viral. Because you're looking for external validation. And that's not longevity. That is you feeling empty. And we no longer need to feel empty. We no longer need to move from our finite mind. We need to use from our universal mind. And be ahead of our time. And this is when we can shift to different timelines. Because we are all electromagnetic being. We are all electricity. We are all the static shock. So what is a frequency? What is a radio station? What is a train station you want to be on and you want to help people to lean into? Be your original, your Ori self. Be your Neo. Be your Trinity. Be your MJ, Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson. But in your own way. I used to be so frustrated that I could not find anybody like me. Like, I don't see nobody teaching astrology, numerology, the Akashic, speaking light language, doing the DJing, but I was like, I need to see someone like me. Because I was forgetting that I was the blueprint and it was always me. So create your blueprint. Be your blueprint. Because that's when the real transmission is going to start to happen. That's the real traction that's going to happen in the business. That's when you're going to be creating money, currency, in the overflow. Where you have so much money that you don't have to think about survival and you can be fully present. But when you're in the energy of survival, it's hard for you to be present. It's hard for you to live in the quantum. You need to be quantum. So I want you guys to start asking yourself in meditations, in your writing, in your journaling, how can I be more quantum? How can I be more futuristic? Then the game is going to start to change. Because this is a game. And as a person who had a theme song for the people who watch WWE, Triple H. You see how his name is Triple H? And H is 8, 8, 8. And we just came from 8, 8. And the lyrics said, it's all about the game and how you play it. So how do you want to play in this game? How do you want to be a main character in your game? How do you want to be a director? How do you want to move? How you want to flow? What is the plot of your game? And are you having fun in your game? If you ain't having fun, why are you really doing this? What is the intention of why you're doing what you're doing? Because the real fun will bring the infinite, unexpected abundance, baby. I love what I do. I love showing up every day to help someone, to bring them into a different solution. I love every day seeing my son wake up and seeing his dad. I love it. I love waking up and seeing my Lyran queen, Erin Lyons, and seeing her embodiment. I love being a husband. I love being a father. I love being a teacher. I will live for it and I will die for it. Some of y'all will not die for what you guys teach. Some of you guys will not die for truth because you just want to be seen. And is that real, true authenticity? Authenticity? I'm going to say it again. I will live and die with the truth that I speak. But some of y'all will see somebody in the comments say something about y'all, and now y'all want to go back into interested of the things that you talk about than being invested about the things you should be talking about. Some of you guys are interested in your calling. Some of you guys are interested in being better. Be invested. Be invested. Be invested. This is when you tap into a different different energy of your God essence. And I'm doing this right now at 2:08 to show y'all, man, I really love y'all. Y'all my best friends. That's what community, we need more unity. I'm not a person that's trying to create community just for money. That's no longevity. Be invested. And why do I say be invested? Because I seen this playing football. I seen people say they wanted to be starters, but you don't know the plays. I see people say they want to be starters, but they're not making weight. I seen people that say they want to be starters, but they don't show up on time. And I see the same thing in the community. I see that people just want to go viral. That's it. And I can see it in your eye that you're tired and you don't even embody the teaching that you're talking about. And I've seen that you don't even have no money. And you telling people about abundance. That's crazy. Because energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie. People forgot the first language is energy. It's energy. It's people that be talking about abundance, talking about a 3-6-9 technique, and it's bankrupt. That's crazy. It's people that's in this community talking about spirituality and quantum reality, but then they're Christian. And it's not me judging, but the math ain't mathing. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. I see people saying they want to be a teacher. You don't even create content. You're not creating content. Nobody knows you. But then when you say things like this, then you want to get butthurt. People are going to say things that's going to hurt you. How are you going to respond, and what you going to do? I had a coach, and you guys probably heard me talk about this. I had a coach tell me my first day at Utah State, after I didn't finish the workout, he said, if you don't get with the program, you gonna get out the program. Listen, I don't know who you think you talking to, but I'm getting with the program. I'm getting with the program. I'm not going back to St. Louis, Missouri in lack. I'm not going back to St. Louis, Missouri and being a nigga. I'ma say it. I'm not going back to St. Louis, Missouri, where my mom worked all these years and spent so much time and energy and working to provide for our family. And I'm just going to be interested when this coach told me I need to get with the program or not. I'm going to go be crying and be a baby. No, I'm going to stand up. Some of y'all are soft. And that's one thing that I feel people need to do. Call people out. Truth. If we're going to be a different level of a human existence, a different level of our human race, you think we got to be soft? We got these women that's mad at this patriarchal system and we are man. You think it's time for us to be soft? You think it's time for us to be interested? Interested? I got a friend who's helping me in my business and he is pushing the hell out of me. He making me uncomfortable. But you know what? I'm going into it. You know why? Because I love making my wife happy. And I'm not saying she's looking for me to be happy, but I love making my wife happy and seeing her smile. I love seeing my son happy. I love seeing my mom happy, my sister happy, my brother happy, from me embodying me so they can embody themselves too. If you're going to bring the revolution, if you're going to bring the evolution, if you got to change the paradigm, you got to change the pattern, you got to stop being soft and stop being interested and stop trying to be viral for validation. No one's going to validate you. It need to scream. It need to be unshakable. And that's when people going to click. People going to like. People going to click on your page. Scroll. Who is this? It needs to be undeniable. It needs to be undeniable. Undeniable. When I was in college, June 26, 2015, I got in a car accident. And that man told me to my face that my hip would never be the same. I said, fuck that. Who the hell you gonna tell me if my hip gonna be the same? You ain't God. You don't have that type of power over me. I'm gonna change my hip. I'm gonna be able to come out my hips and I'm gonna pop somebody in their mouth and I'm gonna be all Mountain West. In my senior year, I was honorable mention Mountain West. And we went 11-2 and we was top 25. Because that's what I wanted to do. I ain't no loser. I love to win. And if you don't love to win, I think you a loser. I love to win. I win. That's what I know. That's what I come from. Winning. Some of you guys are not invested in winning. I'm going to gain my followers organically. Some of y'all want to buy y'all followers because you're interested. You're not invested. I'm not paying for 30K for followers. I'm not. I'm going to do it organically. I'm going to take the stairs. I don't need the elevator. I'm going to take the stairs. Some of y'all don't want to take the stairs. It's too hard. Your legs are shaking. You want to stop. You want to stop. Why? What if this is trying to push you to a different level of your God essence? That you can get out the finite mind. That's how you have to move. You want to shift energy. You want to shift rooms. Make your energy unshakable, even if you're not speaking. It was this guy on my team in college named Ian Tongai, and he did not speak. But when he put his hands on dudes, people knew about Ian Tongai. And I used to look at him like, how do he do it? It's his aura. It's his investment. That's what he chose to do. I seen it in his eyes. And energy don't lie. The eyes are the gateway to the soul. So a person can't look you in your eye. They always looking down. They always looking left and right. Maybe they telling a lie. We got a lot of teachers, but we don't got a lot of embodied teachers. Why? Because people want to go viral. They always want to go viral. They want to use ChatGPT just to go viral. How about you tap into your ChatGPT, you speak from your experience, and then use your solutions and actually really help people? I'm speaking from experience. I've been into sales. I've been into door-to-door. I went to college. I went to Division I. I play professional, and I speak from experience. Now, with some books I read Think and Grow Rich, but everything from Think and Grow Rich, I have embodied. And ever since I have read that book, I have lived it. I lived it. I know the 13 principles of how to be successful. Number 1 is the desire. What do you desire? What is your burning desire? Do you have the unwavering faith? Do you have the imagination? Do you understand sexual transmutation? You got to know these 13 principles how to be successful, baby, or it's going to be hard to be successful in this reality. Are you obsessed? Some of you are not obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I was reading the records before I even knew if the records was even a thing. Because I'm obsessed. I was obsessed with football. My coach, his name was Frank Male. What was it? What year this was? This was my true sophomore year. And in my exit meeting, he said something to me of like, hey, man, you got all the tangibles to be great. You got all the tangibles to play. We're going to see how things flow. What do you mean we going to see how things flow? What do you mean? I said, listen, what I got to do to play? I need you bigger. I need you this. I need you that. Noted. I will be staying in Utah. I was 240. I became 260. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm doing what I got to do. What I got to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. We need more doers. You got to go. You stay right there. We need more doers. We need more embodiment. We need more investment. We need more authenticity. Everybody's talking about the same thing. We need uniqueness from your being. Oh my God. I guess Simba wants to be here with us. And us doing that, that's how we bring back the tribes. That's when we all going to feel more alive. This is when we start to move ahead of our time. And then we see that we the people, especially if you're in America, we the people are the government. And we stop letting the government govern our mind, control our mind. And we free our mind. That's Aquarius. We got to free our mind. And understand we are free. And own it, live by it, die by it. And then this is things going to change drastically. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all coming on this live at this time in this space. Because the old me would never do a live at this time. But I think this is me tapping into a different level of me. Tapping into consistency. Tapping into the momentum. Because if I don't do it, who will? So I love you guys. I hope you guys love this live. If you guys looking to join the membership, oh my God. Hey, you gotta go. If you guys are looking to join the membership, comment on any of my posts, club. And I see y'all next Thursday at August 14th. We're going to bring those codes. We're going to bring those downloads so you know who you are in real time. I'll see you guys soon. Peace, love, light.